Hello everyone and welcome to the bonfire. It is oh my god, I forgot. Is it part 8? I think it is part 8 of Arcanum. Could be part 9. Sorry. So yeah, welcome, and today we are continuing our journey, and yeah, let me load the save. And this time I'll be reading the chat on Twitch. That's important, not on Good Game but on Twitch. And so if you want to tell me something about your life, about anything, if you want to ask me, please do it exactly on Twitch chat, not on Good Game chat. And yep, so last time we were in Ashbury. We were exploring the place and completing the missions around the city. We helped the citizens, the townswomen out with the monument question. Just a splendid performance it was. And then we had to quest for this rascal who is standing here, and removed stones for him. No, here. Removed stones for him and killed his pigs that were disturbing him. Then we had a very troublesome quest about getting the master for gun, not for gunsmithing, for shooting. So, and now we are a master of shooting. This is actually a prison. We haven't paid a visit here. Also, we spent pretty much time, well, selling and buying and selling as always. And yeah, we didn't complete the graveyard, the cemetery quest, not yet at least. And that will be some time later when I get the diplomacy master, because here is standing a guy who I want to connect, who I want to hire for our party, but that's not possible yet. So we are going to sail to the Isle of Despair with Captain Edward Titch, and yep, I have wine bottles for no obvious reason. I have 2 copper rings. Why do I have wine bottles? Virgil, I have something for you. No, not for you, Magnus, for Virgil.
What is it that you want?
Yes, here you go. And these potions, because, well, I don't want to use them, and I hope he doesn't use them too. And before anything else, I just, well, this book that I got from the exploded barrel here, which I detonated with dynamite, I want to actually read this book, which is called The Hand by Frederick von Habsgood. And that's because this is a quest item. You have to give it to an ogre on the Isle of Despair, and he will let you into a house. But I interestingly, well, I've played, or as I told, I've played Arcanum, I think, around 10 times. I mean, like, completed the game, but I still haven't read this book. I don't know what's inside, so I don't want to give it up yet. I want to first know what's the content and why is it so interesting. So let's just, for some change, let's read it, and I hope I can make it enjoyable. So let me first take a breath and have a drink first. So, introductory note. Dear reader, what you hold in your hands is the result of arduous labor on behalf of myself and apprentice staff. Long have the private journals of Frederick von Habsburg been rumored, and it was but 4 short years ago that it came into my possession, delivered to me by Professor Habsgood's long-time servant of 30 years. As you well know, Professor Habsgood was known for writing in a scroll unbeknownst to many circles, and it is this very aspect that I have labored over, carefully arranging his scroll into something resembling flowing prose. I am pleased to present the first of many parts to come in this, the volume Obscura of Professor Frederick von Habsgood. Friedrich von Habsburg, 1843. What I am about to relate defies conventional logic, to be sure, yet I can only stand by and insist to its validity. If you will cast this aside as the rambling of an ancient soul who perhaps should have been buried years ago, this is your judgment. Those that have either been in my employ or have been unfortunate enough to call me a friend know all too well that I do not dabble in fiction. With that futile disclaimer behind me, allow me to relate the events of my visit to Toronto in the year 1792. Bonfires of the downtrodden illuminated the horizon like morbid stars. Poor souls seeking any warmth they could muster. Snow blanketed the landscape in every direction, a freezing chill whipping past Gothic structures. Even the gargoyles, rooted in their stone beds, seemed chilled to the bone. It was this auspicious weather that marked my arrival to Toronto in the dead of night, and while at first it appeared to be my lead story, soon it was discarded for the rather strange event that soon took place. It began with an argument that grew louder as I grew nearer. An elderly man, with more lines eroding his face than mine, was engaged in a rather hostile tussle with a well-built lad. Of what they argued I know not, for as I drew within range, the words devolved into physical attacks. The old man proved my initial suspicions correct when he unleashed tendrils of fire that struck everything but his opponent. Buildings erupted in flame, upside being more heat for a dreadfully cold midnight. Villagers ran in every direction, screaming nonsensical words as the young nemesis of the old man unleashed a sword of steel. If I were to get involved, it would have proved too late, as the next second found the young man cleaving through the old wizard with a deft and assured strike. I shall spare you the gruesome result that transpired next, save that it involved the severing of a head. I expected the corpse of the wizard to be ransacked for possessions, but the young man simply stuffed the head in a brown bag and ran off like an apparition, leaving me alone, surrounded by crackling buildings and a vacant street. The headless body of the old wizard, lay before me. Try as I could to avert my gaze and press on with my journey, I failed. The lure of the corpse was too much. I approached, tentatively at first, and then, with a quickened pace, lest someone return and find me lurking with potential blame. It was then that I saw the index finger of his right hand. Nearby flames cast a glint off its metallic structure, and I knelt to observe closer. His entire finger was no finger at all. Instead, a black appendage seemingly made of steel. The lure was intense, I tell you, and I fear I can offer no satisfying excuse for what I did next. Using my knife, I attempted to pry the metallic casting off, thinking it a cowl for the actual finger beneath. This proved futile, as the substance resisted all attempts at penetration. I'm afraid I must admit to doing something rather gruesome, as I then began to slice at the wrist in an attempt to remove the entire hand. This proved successful, despite my rising nausea. I know not what possessed me to do so. I stuffed the hand into my backpack as the overwhelming sensation of being observed defined itself, and my next ambition was to remove myself from sight as soon as possible. Quickly, I traipsed through the snow to find my hotel and, more importantly, a shot of aged scotch. This desire did not manifest. Instead, my hasty journey was interrupted the horrific sensation of something moving within my backpack. Fearing the worst and knowing it to be so, I threw the backpack from my shoulder like one would throw a book featuring an uninvited spider resting upon the cover. To my horror, the flap of the backpack flew open, and emerging with purpose was the very hand I had severed. There is no greater motivation than being pursued by a demonic hand, and it was this feeling that carried me blindly through the alleys of Toronto, too full of fear to even muster a scream of help. Damn the dead end that soon appeared, leaving me nowhere to go. The hand approached, and I froze with fright, a feeling I wish upon no one. A statue I became, a human gargoyle of sorts, observing with dread as the hand drew near and began ascending my right leg. Before I could even contemplate my impending demise, the hand had absconded with my very own knife, and this realization proved too much, as I then crumpled to the snow, fainting from fright. The very act of awakening from such a nightmare was a treasure in itself, though the initial joy of the occasion was soon replaced with outright disgust, as near to me, jutting up from the snow, was my severed hand. Resigning myself to what I knew to be true, I looked at where I should have had stomped, only to find the old man's hand in its place, black steel finger full of silent mockery. To this day, I do not know the power residing within this hand. All attempts at prying and poking have met with zero information. I can only hope that this entry puts to rest the years of speculation as to how I came about sporting such an odd appanage. Of all the stories I have heard, none are more strange than the actual event. Isn't that always the case? Professor Friedrich von Habsburg, 1802. Well, that's pretty curious. So, actually sounds like a nice start of a story. Too bad we'll never know how it finished. So, with this said, let's proceed upon the main journey. So, Edward Teach, Captain, is our benefactor, going to transport us. So, how are there, matey? What can old Teach do for you? Good to see you again, Captain Teach. Have you a moment? Of course, matey. Let's talk about your business, Captain. What do you want to know? What do you be wanting to know? Tell me about your boat. My boat? There is nothing I'd rather talk about. Your name is the Gypsy Shadow, and there ain't ever been a more perfect piece of shipwork than sailed Arcanum seas. Where did you get it from? Where did you get it? Her. The Gypsy. That's quite a tale, matey, and not one I just tell to anyone. I understand, you can trust me. Yes, I think you be telling the truth. Well, lady, by the time I could start growing a beard, I'd sailed from one end of this land to the other, from the southern shores of Whipping Maidens to the northern ice-choked waters of the Jailer's Hump. Ain't nothing of the sea I hadn't seen, and most of it twice. I see. Please continue. At the time, I was running ale out of Caledon, first mate for a mean and crusty old captain who went by the name of Jack Skellybone. Half pirate and half devil, with the mouth of a blue-gilled she-demon and the breath to match. Jack used to drink so much that we'd pray for the tailwinds. If the journey take too long, he'd start drinking the profits. Sounds like quite a character. That'd be the truth, mate. Old Jack would fight you if he thought you brazened him wrong. He had more scars on his face than most men had all over, and he could tell you the story from each one, and never were they the same. He was a hard man, but fair to his crew, and he loved the sea, lady, almost as much as he loved his boat, the Gypsy Shadow. Interesting. What happened to him, Captain? Well, one night we was all drinking in the South Barnacle down Black Root way, and old Jack got real drunk and started in with his stories, and as the night got on, the tales got taller and we laughed harder, and we were all having a grand old time. And so, Jack had one too many and started saying as to how he was the greatest pirate on the seas of Arcanum, and how, if there was anyone who thought they were crustier, they'd have something to say about it. I see. What happened then? He started spitting and hollering, and then, after appending every table in the place, he said that he was the greatest pirate who had ever lived, tougher than Ruby Dirk and Black Sam Bellamy, and even meaner than Stringy Pete himself. Stringy Pete, who is he? Don't talk much about him. I'll just say that Stringy Pete was the meanest, cold-blooded, murdering pirate who ever put to sail, and be done with it. There are stories and legends, and most of them are true. Had been dead for more than 200 years, and people still whisper his name when they talk about him. I see. And what of Jack Skellybones? Well, after he said that, no one much felt like drinking after, and we put old Jack to bed. You see, a pirate is mean, but he knows when to be joking about, and blustering about, and calling out to the ghost of Stringy Pete ain't one of them. And so, well, a week or so later, we were out to sea, and it was the new moon, so it was dark, and a strange westerly had appeared and brought in a bank of low clouds thick as lamps too, and then we saw the other ship just resting off starboard, silent as death and as still as if she was anchored. Her sails tattered, her timbers rotted, and then we heard the screams. What happened? We found old Jack in his cabin with 2 daggers in him, 1 for each eye, and the sign of the evil eye carved into his chest, the very sign old Stranger Pete used to leave on his victims. We ran out to see who was on the other boat, but it was gone, taking the clouds and the westerly with it. That's rather frightening. Being first mate, I took command and ownership of the Gypsy Shadow. I've never laid eyes on that other boat since, and I hope I never do. Thank you for sharing that, Captain, and a few more questions? Actually, this Stranger Pete, we will meet him later in the game. There will be a quest connected to him, so just wait. What cities do you sail to? Depending on what I happen to be doing, I'll sail just about anywhere, and West got a port, a place to land anyways. Black Root, Tehran, Caledon, I've been to them all, and business takes me to all of them. Tell me about some of the things you've seen and done. Seen and done. Old Teach has done quite a lot, lady, and not all of it good and sugary. What do you be wanting to know? Where is the most beautiful place you've ever seen? The most beautiful place? Well, I'd have to say it was the lost lagoons in the Islands of the Weeping Maidens. Lady, the waters there are so clear you'd be thinking to walk on blue sand, and the fish there are clear as glass and change color depending on their mood, and trees got more fruit than leaves, and the birds sing songs to make even an old pirate cry. Amazing. And the greatest adventure you've ever been on? The greatest adventure? Well, once I hired a gypsy out to None Island Franklin Payne himself, our next companion, the greatest adventurer in all of Arcanum. Bloody madman he is, but full of life and laughter, and hand me if there is a scarred bone in that man's body. Where did you go with Mr. Payne? Well, we sailed west to Serpent Spine, where sharks have as big as boats, and the islands are mountains that spew rock and fire, and there saw Franklin Payne first fight 3 fire giants with a broken sword, and laughing the whole time, and after they scared them off, he took one's their fire gems, which they say hold strange powers. Sounds exciting. And the furthest you've ever sailed? Furthest I have ever been? That's easy. I once sailed so far is that the sun forgot to set, and the mermaids came to the side of my boat and begged for my crew and I to come swimming, and we came to a whirlpool and so wide that you couldn't sail around it without being pulled in, and so we came home. Fascinating. And the worst weather you've ever been in? The worst storm I've ever been in? Well, me and the gypsy have seen some bad weather, but the worst was probably a hurricane, just off the tip of Razor's Point. I tell you, lady, the waves was so high they could have been mountains, and the wild wind screaming like a struck banshee, and the waves hit so hard you could see the ocean bottom littered with whale bones, and the ships dead sailors. There is no option to say that he is lying like crazy, but fine. We have interviewed him, I think, and a few more general questions about Ashbury, I guess. Ashbury, not much to say about her. Another port, another town, and good place for a sailor to lay his head or get drunk. That was inspiring. So you see, actually, it's interesting that it's a very good example of how English people treat cities and ships. They could, although they have no he and she about objects, like table is it, and basically only a woman is she and the man is he, and everything else is it. Well, animals have exceptions, but in like in Russian and Spanish or in French, we have genders of objects, and like in my language in Russian, there is this like how to say male, female, and neutral gender, so to say. And about ships, you could use she, and about the city, you also can use she. I'm in need of passage to the Isle of Despair. I just received port from Mr. Bates to be expecting you. Said You'd be asking for passage to that hellish place and that I should be taking you. I don't much like the waiters nor the people there, but for Bates, I'll do it. Thank you, Captain. Shall we leave at once? Now be as good as time as any. There be a strong easterly wind and the waters are as glassy as I've seen them in a long time. Not being the superstitious type, but I'd be inclined to say it'd be a good omen. I'm glad you think so. Let's be off. And we are going there. Here we are. This is, you see, Isle of Despair. I sailed from Ashbury, and that's the only time we can actually make it here. And I think I forgot something. Yeah, I forgot to take one interesting quest. Yeah, I think so. So what we will do, we will I haven't saved, right? Yeah, I think. Well, I need to go to Durnholm, which is, well, pretty long way. I know that, guys, but for the sake of well, please don't hate me. For the sake of complete walkthrough and being sure that we are conscientious about all quests and tasks and so on and so forth, I think we are just obliged to attend to every possible quest that exists in this game, at least if it is feasible. And it is feasible, just that I need now to go to Torrent, from Torrent to Blackroot, from Blackroot to Durnholm. That's a long way. Oh, I think that's also a quest. I saw your speech at the town hall. Rousing it was. It is long past time we got that monument built. Is there any adventure to be had around these parts? It's funny you should ask. I have a bit of a problem. Let me venture, I guess. You need my assistance. There is no need for your snide attitude, nor its accompanying comments, sir. My apologies. What is your problem? What about your company? Russian. There is a rather eccentric scientician that lives here in town. Neither hide nor hair of him has been sighted in a fortnight. What does this have to do with you? I had contracted this fellow to use his technology to improve an old set of plate armor I had. Why do you need my assistance? I went to his house 2 hours ago, searching for him. His doors was unlocked, so I went in. I was immediately accosted by all manner of gadgetry and was forced to flee. You expected me to go in there for you? It's too tough for me, but a fellow of your ingenuity could waltz right into his house and get my armor for me. What do I get out of this? I'll give you 200 coins for retrieving my plate. Yeah, it runs contrary to my best judgment, but I'll do it. Good show. I'll be waiting out here for you to return. And where is this house? Is it? Okay, that is it, I guess. And he's crying, guards. What's wrong with you guys? You just assigned me for the task and now you're asking for the guards. So this is the place. So. This is a very strong automaton, right? So I don't really should be careful. Apparently, whoa! It one-shot me. Okay, we are fine. Oh, actually, sorry, I need to add some sound, some volume. Okay, so we are supposed to grab the armor. This one, basic machined plate and automaton. That's automaton. So let's go. Nothing else to take here. Yep. So that's a very small, very short, nice quest that I can also trick the guy and take my take this armor and not give it to the person, but well, he will attack me, of course, and that's like spoiling the relationship with the whole town. So Theodore, I have your armor, and here it is. Okay, success, total success. Let's move on. Let's move on to set off for a long journey and then a long journey back. By the way, this is this human wizard. I don't remember his name. I don't think it is Jeffrey, but maybe Jeffrey. So we will have to complete his quest later on. And I want to heal up. Sleep until heal. I hope nobody attacks me. And nothing. These orcs. Why is Magnus so slow? I don't understand. And where is Vollinger again? Magnus, why are you so slow?
How can I help?
Moderate. Don't understand. Okay. Maybe maybe I should give the books to Sog, because like, yeah, Sog, that's for you. When did I couldn't find anyone to sell this to.
Yes.
Yeah. So Gar is quite well armored, I should say. Machined plate mail. So Jaina, that's for you. Don't need this. Yeah, so what I wanted to do is to check 23. How do you get 23 strength if you, like, the maximum is 20? Is it also the patch? Oh my god. Everything is patched. Okay, then Magnus, you have 13.
How can I help you?
And by the way, why is it 13, 14, 18? Okay, I understand that dexterity is improved by the rings, but everything else, why do you have a bonus?
How can I help you? What do you...
Oh. Does it? No. Okay. So for Magnus, these gloves give extra strength, apparently. That's very interesting.
How can I help you? What do you...
I didn't know that. Another patch thing. Okay, got you. Anyway, that means that we should take the books from him, because they apparently cause too much trouble to him. And Sok, this is for you. Yeah, he is fine with that. You see, not even troubled with this weight. But now we have, I hope Magnus should be running fast. And could you please tell me, Vollinger, what your speed is? Well, 9? Should be running fast, right? Yeah, now we are good, apparently. And what's that? Completed quest. We are moving to... Oh, far away we are moving to. This, that's gonna be so tedious, but fine. And I expect a lot of encounters on my way, but that's also fine. I think we will be victorious. It looks like this is the end for you. Okay. I don't want to spend bullets. Let's move on. Another group of excited.
Of course, sir.
What are they? Adversaries. That's all loot. I mean, that's all money. I'll sell this. I'll sell this and I'll be rich and wealthy and powerful. Yeah. The bear craves my death. This is so hostile. I mean, the place is so hostile. They all want to eliminate me. They all want my demise and as soon as possible. And isn't that frightening? Another bear, unhappy with my existence. Wolves. And you see, I'm getting like close to 0 experience for that if I'm not fighting. That's why I'm always going for a shooter, because, well, you shoot, get experience, you are the damage dealer. Yeah, like nothing. And what's strange that small bears are, oh, that's a lycanthrope. So small bears give as much experience as big bears, which is quite strange, I think, but well, that's how the game works. And yeah, here we are. Let's wait until morning. What I don't remember is where is the quest for 2 quarterling guys. Can we trade? Oh, actually I can sell something here. Perfect. Yeah, Sog, could I please take this shit from you, because have a chance to get rid of some cool loot. So this goes, this goes, this goes, and this goes, and this. Amazing. Yeah, very good. So, but still, it doesn't answer my question. Where is that trade guy who has a quarrel with another trade guy? I don't remember. Are they in Blackroot? Probably they are, because, well, nowhere else could be. Quality armor, maybe it is there. Let's check. Hello. No, repair something, no thank you. Let's trade. Another copper ring, which I'll take because I'll later make charged rings and accelerate my companions. Yeah, what I'm looking for is a woman. Human noble. Hello, madam. Might I ask who you are? My name is Liana. Yeah. Greetings, Liana. Do you have a few moments? What can I help you with? Tell me about yourself, Liana. What's to tell? I'm Cumbrian. I love my country. I would fight to the death for it, using all the skills that my father taught me. Her face becomes very sad. I can only hope that someday I'm as great a warrior as he. So you are a warrior. What skills do you have? My father taught me many things, but I have always been very proficient with throwing weapons, knives, axes, whatever is at hand. I see. Could you train me to be an expert in throwing? You do not have the skill necessary to be trained as an expert. Okay. Perhaps you can answer a few more questions. I'd like to speak with you about Cumbria. What would you like to know? Tell me of Durnholm, the town we are in. Durnholm, there is pain in her eyes. Durnholm was once the greatest city in all of Arcanum and Cumbria its greatest kingdom. The things have changed much since, well, since what? She hisses under her breath. Since King Praetor came into power, his father, King Torrent, was a great king and brought much glory to Cumbria, but he died during the war with Tarrant and things have never been the same. Why? What has happened? Many years ago, King Torrent outlawed the use of technology within the city walls. Our defeat by Tarrant showed us the error of these ways. We buried a great king because of it. Unfortunately, Praetor came to power. The throne wasn't even his to take. What do you mean? Wasn't Praetor the son of King Torrent? Yes, but he wasn't the firstborn. She looks around, lowering her voice. I'm sorry, but these things are forbidden to speak of. I've said too much already. I see. Tell me of the war with Tarrant. The war with Tarrant. It was so many years ago. From what my father told me, the dispute was over land. What else do kingdoms ever fight over? It didn't really matter. Cumbria was strong and the Industrial Council had just come into power in Tarrant. It was only a matter of time before things came to war. What happened? It was a terrible battle. The Dragon Knights were called upon to defend Cumbria, and as always they heeded the call. My father told me of that day. The knights upon their war steeds, dressed in armor of gold and silver, the trumpets sounded, and they charged, wave after wave of the finest soldiers that Arcanum has ever known. Charged directly into the bullets fired by the Tarantine foot soldiers. The Dragon Knights never stopped, not once. She shudders. My father said the piles of the dead were like great metal mountains rising from oceans of blood. It was a massacre. Who was your father? My father was Warren Peldar. He was captain of the Dragon Knights and the greatest warrior I've ever known. Tears come to her eyes. From when I was very young, he taught me the ways of the Dragon Knights, and he taught me to love Cumbria, to hold the memory of her former greatness in my heart. Where is he? He's dead. She turns away. He died 10 years ago. He was an old man, but I think his spirit died many years ago. My father loved Cumbria more than anything. Seeing what the kingdom became broke his very heart. Who were the Dragon Knights? Dragon Knights were the soldiers allied for Cumbria. Only the most skilled were chosen for their ranks, and only the most noble of those. They were feared throughout the land, and they were revered here in our kingdom. My father, he told me many stories about them, and about their strength and bravery, and he was the finest among them. A few more general questions. I remember. Well, this question is what kind of is strange because, there is something that about King Praetor that she doesn't want to tell, and that's exactly what we need. But I think that's what we need to proceed with one mission in on the Isle of Despair. What the cautious sort of things? Where is Isle of Despair? Can we trade goods? Well, let's buy bullets, I guess. Should we buy bullets? Why not? Oh, and now I am kind of a little bit too much equipped, but fine. So I'll do some shooting then on my way to Blackroot. I have 3 points to use actually. Persuasion expert. Yeah, that's something I need. Then willpower. Is it so? Yeah, because I want to improve haggle. And that's it. Let's move. So we are going to Blackroot because I want to complete one mission. I do want to finish it before we go. Is that a dragon?
Of course, yeah.
That was too late. I killed it. Kill the dragon. Like Professor Peterson says, kill the dragon. The cows. So that place, where is this cellar that I want to complete the mission for? Well, anyway, there is one more quest here, which is... Well, there is Mr. Payne here. There is one more quest here, but I don't want to start it yet. So I guess... Huh. Can't remember. Oh, maybe here. Yes, here. Hello, man. Greetings, sir. I am the local blacksmith. Name is Garrett Almstead. Can I ask you a question? What is it? Make it quick, I don't have all day. How did a half-orc become the town blacksmith? I get that a lot. I was abandoned as a child. I spent several years living on the streets, scavenging and stealing what I needed to survive. I never stayed in one place long until came to Blackroot. What was different in Blackroot? The old blacksmith, Garney, didn't have any children, but he wanted someone to keep the shop running after he was gone. So he took pity on me and made me his apprentice. He worked me long, hard hours, yet he was a fair man. He passed a few years back. I still miss him. Oh, you've had a hard life. I'm sorry for your loss as well. You know, most people don't give a damn about me. Always talking about me being a half-breed bastard and such. Some even do not do it to my face. It's a rare few who actually care enough to say a kind word. Thank you. Here, take this. It's a little something I made. A gift for your kindness. Why, thank you. Can I ask you something else? Shall we barter? The ring. Okay, and you see he gave me dwarven gauntlets. Another pair of dwarven...
What do you need?
Of dwarven gauntlets. Mysterious dwarven gauntlets. So, well, who do I give it to? Maybe
yes,
to Gar? Yeah. Gar, here you go. By the way, does it?
Yes, sir. What?
Does it? Yeah. The hell?
Of course, sir.
So.
Yes, sir.
That's, I guess, he has speed improvement because of the rings, right?
Yes, sir. What can...
And plus... What's happening here? How do you... Why? You see, like, the green color is... It means that...
Yes, sir.
That there is some kind of buff, but... He doesn't have anything to buff him. That's really weird. But, well, what can I do? That's... Arcanum is all about mystery. Now, there is this man, innkeeper. Hello, sir. Hello, yes, what can I do for you? Greetings, good sir. Might I ask you... What? Position? I'm Mr. Holloway, the innkeeper of this fine establishment. A pleasure, Mr. Holloway. What have you to offer a traveler? Oh, certainly, sir. We offer only the highest quality rooms with excellent amenities. Each room is decorated in the latest fashion, complete with trunks for storing your valuables. Additionally, we employ guards to ensure the safety of our guests, and all for mere 25 coins per night. Perhaps you will allow me a few more questions. What is the latest word? No, he has a quest. Oh, that's a little steep. Is that your final price? He looks you over as if calculating your capabilities. Well, business is rather slow at the moment. Would you be interested in completing a task in exchange for a room? I suppose that would depend upon the task. A while back I took my strong box to the local blacksmith, Garrett, for repair. He said he would fix it for 50 coins, to which I agreed. When I returned to get it, he demanded 137 coins. I refused to pay. I won't be swindled by that mongrel. However, it's an old family heirloom and I want it back. So you require my assistance in retrieving it? Yes, I'd be very grateful for your help. If you can get the strong box back for me, I would reward you by providing you a room at no charge. In fact, if you get it back for me, you can have a room for as long as you require. That is very agreeable. Consider it done. Yeah. An excellent agreement, sir. I await your return. That's the quest I was talking about. I wanted to complete it because it's very fast. I'm a diplomat, and I can handle it without any trouble. Hello, Garrett. I think, I hear you are keeping property from Mr. Holloway, the innkeeper. I've just been over at the inn speaking to Mr. Holloway. That's Spendthrift. I bet he told you all about how I'm trying to overcharge him for his precious strongbox, didn't he? He's got the nicest place in town and he wants to quibble over a few coin. So he did mention the incident. Can you tell me what happened? He did bring his box in for repair, told me the latch was sticking and asked me to fix it. I gave him an estimate of 50 coin. While I had it, I noticed the hinges were bad, so I replaced them, and one of the corner pieces was chipped, and so I repaired it. The final price came to 137 coin. So, you repaired things that he didn't ask you to. He did not okay these changes, did he? Haha. Sounds to me like you were trying to cheat him. Well, I think the first option. Listen, when I do something, I do it right. He knows the quality of my work. If he brought things to me when they began to show wear, it wouldn't cost so much to get them fixed up until he pays it staying locked in my shop. Has Mr. Holloway been a good customer over the years? Well, yeah, he has. Brings me stuff on a regular basis. Always pays quick. He's pretty well off, you know. Does he ever help you out, send you other customers? Now that you mention it, if his guests need anything repaired, he's always quick to send his guests my way. So having him upset with you could really hurt your business. I guess you're right. Maybe it would be good to fix things up with him. How do you suppose I do that? Well, first off, why don't you let me take that box back to him? For free? It would be a show of good faith. You don't want to lose him. Do you really think it would fix things? I really do. Let me have it. I'll give it to him with your regards. It will do wonders. Let me take it to him as a gift from you. Okay, take the strong box back to Mr. Holloway. Tell him I apologize for our misunderstanding. It's in the trunk over near my bedroom door. Here's the key. Thank you. You've been very helpful. He'll be thrilled. You won't regret it. Sorry guys that I'm sometimes saying something not very comprehensibly because I've been teaching and working all day, and so I'm kinda not in my best eloquent state. So greetings, Mr. Holloway. Might I impose on you for a moment? What? Okay, I have obtained the strong box. Oh, well done. Here, he takes it from you. I'm sure it was difficult to negotiate with that lackluster. Tell me, how did you manage to retrieve it from such a barbarian? Garrett offers his apologies and he has returned it to you for free, and you say I could just actually fail. Hello, Nancy. Hard Nancy. Good evening. Nice to see you here. I am trying to actually use Twitch because I thought, well, on Good Game it's not that people come automatically. I mean, they come from the links that I post, but on Twitch people come just like that, and I think, well, why don't I actually follow the stream? And yeah, not very late. I mean, I'm still in the middle of things. At least in like it's the, I mean, probably it will be 1 hour more or something like that. So yeah, and guys, I've been I could like compromise the blacksmith, not blackmailing, but telling some false facts about him. But of course, I'll try to be the good boy and say Garrett offers his apologies and has returned it to you for free. He gave it back to me. That's incredible. You must truly have a way with words. I'm quite impressed. Perhaps Garrett's not that lack wit I took him for. I am glad I was of service. About our agreement, as agreed, I shall give you a room to use at your leisure. You'll find an excellent suite just down the hall. I do hope you enjoy your stay, and thank you again. Pleasure doing business with you. And that's the final part of the quest, and we are good. So now I don't remember if I talked to people here. No, I haven't. Yeah, so that's another chance to earn my lots of money. Yeah, it's me, but no, I need to play the game with you. Hello. Yeah, that was me. No. 500 coins. I need 500 coins from you. Greedy guys. Yeah, let's play. How many colleges of magic are there? 16. Yeah, 500 coins are mine. Another. That's what? Who is this person? Okay, the dwarf. That's the assassin. I got it, so we don't touch him. How are you? Just enjoying my drink. No, that's not the person I need. I mean, not the answer I need. Yeah, let's play. What's the name of the bridge leading into Torrent? That's the... Gerelon Bridge? Yeah, cool. I almost forgot. Then this lady. No, I want 500 coins. Have you heard? Yeah, that's me. What happened? Have I just drunk something? I guess so. So, tell me. Let's play a game. That was me. Game. No. Cannot. Game. No. 500 coins. Yeah, let's play. What clan does the king of the dwarves belong to? It's the Wheel clan. Yeah. And I think we have robbed everyone. You must be new to the area. Everyone knows that I am Clarissa Shalmo, master of thrown weaponry. Never have I found an equal to my skill. You have heard of me, haven't you? Have you found an equal to your ego? Well, not that I want to insult you right away. A pleasure, Clarissa. Might I ask a question or two? I think that's what I want to say. Not to lie. You have my attention. What is your position here? I am currently working under contract because I am the master. My skills are in high demand. You see, I exceed with all thrown weapons, daggers, boomerangs, chakrams, even grenades. My pose and aim are flawless. You really should see me in action. I am quite amazing. Impressive. It must be quite an honor to be in such demand. You mastered all thrown weapons, no challenges remain. Your abilities sound impressive, warrior. Your talents are many, might ask a question, and so on. Your vanity is what strikes me as amazing. Another insult. So I think I want to ask the second question. Sadly, it has been a long time since I have been challenged with a new weapon. However, I have recently heard of tales of Azram Star. It is said to be one of the finest throwing weapons ever forged. If the star is anything like I have heard, it will be the next weapon I master. But it will have to wait the completion of my contract. Azram Star, I've never heard of it. Apparently it is an artifact that dates back to the Age of Legend. The piece is rumored to have not one but 5 blades protruding from its base and inflicts incredible damage. Plus, I hear that it possesses the power to return to its master after striking its target. What an amazing weapon that would be. Perhaps you can answer a few more questions. Perhaps you would be interested in joining me on my journey. Her offer is very appealing. However, I'm under a lengthy contract which I will honor until it is completed. So she unfortunately doesn't give the search for quest of this chakram because you have to be an expert of throwing, and then she can give this quest. And you can't join her. You can't, invite her to your party, as you see. So pretty useless. And this man, I think, here is another quest giver. It is nice to meet you. Greetings, sir. My apologies, but I have no time to chat, sir. I meant no intrusion. I'm merely a traveler seeking information. A traveler, eh? And what great sights of our land have you beheld? Many sights, from quaint, shadowed hills to the great city of Torrent. My, you have traveled far. It is good to meet a fellow adventurer. I fear we are becoming a rare breed. Too many prefer the comforts of familiar places and large cities to the freedom of the open wilderness. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Kitzel Pierce. A pleasure. Tell me, will your adventure continue to take you far afield? Or are you near finished with your present romp? Ooh, I suspect I'll be traveling for quite some time still. May I ask why? One of my students is missing. I need to leave town for Caledon rather quickly, and I have not the time to search for him. I fear a tragedy may have befallen the boy. Students. Why yes, I'm the master bowman. From time to time those who wish my training seek me out. I train them for a fee, or if I am in need, require a task of them. The latter was true for young Dudley. And what would you have me do? If you happen to come upon him in your wandering, might you inform him that I have gone on to Caledon for business for the king, he should seek me out there. Yes, I can do that. Thank you. His name is Dudley Croston. He is a human lad of average height and build. Last I saw him nigh a month ago, he was dressed in plain adventure gear, armed with bow and knife and provisions for a fortnight. He was headed north. If I happen upon him, I'll deliver your message. And that's... Sorry. Thank you. It has been a pleasure meeting you. It's time I go off to Caledon. May your journey prove enlightening. Goodbye. Good day to you. And he is leaving, and he is a terrible, terrible liar, because his student is not heading north, but actually south, because he is in in Durnholm, and that's quite misleading what he told me. So, but I won't go to Blackroot again, because first of all, I don't want to torture you with my endless quest completion that it's very far from the main quest. So, and secondly, because I will anyway go to Durnholm later, because after I come back from the Isle of Despair, Caledon will be open, and in Caledon we have to take a quest, and so and before Caledon we have to take a quest from King Praetor from Durnholm, so I will go there later. Now we can head to Ashbury, to the ship, and sail finally to complete our next main quest step. I think I really can tell the game step by step. So many times I played it. It's almost... Well, it's interesting, but it's not boring. I mean, it's interesting that it is not boring, that I don't find it tedious to be playing it over and over. It has incredible replayability, and yep. But sometimes I feel kind of troubled by that fact, because I think maybe it's just my comfort zone and I'm just a lunatic with that, but maybe it's just that it is just very, very interesting and quite captivating, and this... I don't know, well, you don't say that you are lunatic because you are playing Lego, right? Like, you say, well, let's just... Let's also stop, I need to loot them. So, yeah, that's my point, that Lego is replayable and Arcanum is replayable, so that's why I think it's fine.
Of course.
Poor wolves.
Of course.
Another work.
How can I help?
That's the way to show those bastards. I mean, good hit, sir.
Thank you, Virgil. Oh, that was funny. So one orc went to attack me. The second saw a flower and went to collect the flower. And that's something about teamwork, right? Amazing. I wish all my enemies were like that. Let's stop for a second, I want to heal up. Now we are full health. Why is it? Right. Yeah, all quests complete? Oh, sorry. Ashbury, Ashbury. Let's go. Captain Teach, I'm going for you now. Finally, finally. Dear sir, can I buy something from you, by the way? Dorian amulet. Sword of defense. Gloves of dexterity. I have no magical creatures except for Virgil. I'll have them later, but not now. So maybe I'll do it later. I'll buy this later. I hope the vendor shouldn't hate me yet, because I'm not that much of a technician yet. So Captain Teach, let's talk. Again, I don't want to read this because I read that some time ago. The most beautiful place, Mr. Payne, fascinating, good God, amazing. Yeah, and now let's Ashbury. Yep, let's go. And here we are. Now let's save the game. I believe that was quite fine, and we can move. We can move. That's the Isle of Despair. That's the camp where people live. Yeah, that is the camp. And here we can actually find some place to cross the river and venture forward to complete some quests around the isle. But first, let's talk to the warden. May I be of assistance? I am looking for the Black Mountain clan. Can you help me? A clan? I do not know of any clans around here. You'd need to speak with Thorwald about that. Thorwald? Who is he? Thorwald is the leader of this enclave. He settles all disputes within its walls, but to get to see him, you'll need to talk to Ordin, his guard, first. Can I go inside now? Of course, but first you need to hear the rules. There are only 2 of them. You can do anything you want, as long as it doesn't interfere with anyone else, and in the event of any dispute, Thorwald is the final word. You have my gratitude. One more thing, I must warn you about wandering outside of the encampment here. Why is that? We have lost quite a few people to a sorcerous beast that defies our guns. I myself saw a man eaten alive by the beast with his gun misfired. Where is the beast? I'll kill it for you for a price. You think... Oh, sorry. We think it lives north of here. That it's all we know. You will have to track it yourself to find its lair. We have a powerful magical amulet we'll give you for killing it, but I can't tell you what power it holds. It has never been identified. It is a deal, sir. So that's another quest, and now hello, sir. There is no problem. This woman we will have to rescue from the island. It is a human bandit. You see, she's a human bandit, but she's actually not. It is an honor. May I ask what someone such as yourself is doing here? My name is Cynthia Box. I was born here. The man who envisioned this hell for those who refused to adapt to their society neglected to provide for the offspring of the convicted. This is scandalous. You've been here for your whole life. Yes, it was not a bad life, as it were, until my mother died last year. She kept the worst of it from me. Since her passing, I have become abused and treated like common property. Can't you speak with Thorwald about this? Thorwald will not listen to my tale. He isn't only concerned with the affairs of man. Women are beneath his concern. He's a dwarf, after all. Yours is a most distressing tale. What can be done about this? She looks around to see if anyone else could possibly overhear what she is about to tell you next. There is a tribe of nomadic women on this island who have cast off the shackles of oppression these men have tried to impose on them. If I could escape from here, I believe they would allow me to join with them. What could I do to help? If you could speak with the leader, Loria, they might come and rescue me. It would be my pleasure to help you. Oh, bless you, show me your map. She marks your map. Here's the location of the tribe, as far as I know. Also, here's a white scarf to wear around your head. If they see a man approaching without it, they'll attack him. How do you know all this information? My mother used to tell me tales of these women when I was younger. She told me to escape and fight and live with them, if anything ever happened to her. Why don't you simply leave? I'm not allowed to leave the encampment. I have tried before, but they always catch me. And then, the punishment, she begins to cry. I'm truly sorry. I'll get you out of here as soon as possible. So that's something about feminism here. That's nice. I think it's pretty decent what we're about to do, and actually, that will this story will unfold quite interestingly. So just see, and that will be the last quest we'll do before we actually leave the area. And this man, well, how are you, brother? Hello, sir. Might ask your name. The man before you is dressed in rags, but hung from head to foot are small objects and trinkets of every kind. The name is Jones. Jones, the collector. They call me out here. Hello. Why do they call you the collector? Because things that I do, boy. I collect things, all sorts of things, all shapes and sizes and tastes and colors. If it's to be had on the isle, old Jones has got it. Get me, boy? Ain't no one knows better about the getting of things than Jones the collector. I think I get the picture, Jones. Do you trade as well? Does an ogre's breath smell like yesterday's catch? Trade? Boy, I've been trading longer than you've been asking stupid questions. Jones laughs, slapping his knee. The objects ring and clang as he moves. I'm just joking with you, boy, but yes, I know a fair bit about trade and trading. What sort of things have you been collecting lately? Oh, just about everything that washed up on the shore. Old forks and rusted pipes and the occasional shoe or boot. You looking for shoes? I got shoes you wouldn't believe. None of a match and... But out here, wait. He seems to remember something. You new around here, boy. Looking to earn some goods, make a trade? Actually, I'm looking for some dwarves. Could you help me? Dwarves. What you been eating with dwarves? Nobody around here gonna trade you nothing for a dwarf. Jones starts cackling uncontrollably, almost upending himself. Ha, sorry boy, kinda struck me funny. Ha, have you seen any Jones? Jones calms down in a moment. Ain't but one dwarf on the isle, boy, and that's Torvald Two Stones. He runs things around here. His house is on the northern end of town. Thank you, Jones. Might I ask you another question? Of course. What can old Jones do for you? I'm looking for some work, Jones. Well, I've been trying to get someone to go down the Shades Beach for the last few months. There is something really strange down there, and from what I've been told, plenty of things that a man like me might be interested in. What do you mean by strange? What's down there? There is a few mage types around here, and they say that just getting with earshot of the place screws up all their spells. Something down there that just don't agree with magic. Plus, old Dietrich brought me back a weapon from there, the likes I'd never seen. I'd go down myself, but they say it's crawling with beasts and whatnot. Interesting. What are you offering if I go down there? He squints, thinking. I'll tell you what. You bring back some objects from the beach, and if you find something good, I'll trade you that weapon I told you about. God knows I can't make heads or tails of it. I'll do so and return. And that's down here's where the beach is. He points at the place on your map. Good luck to you. I can't wait to see what you dig up. I must be off. And that's a very useful quest because I'm going to find very nice objects there. Another quest giver lives, I believe, either here, I don't remember, or in the next house. Something about alcohol it is. Yeah. Hello. Is there something I can do for you? Hello, sir. Might I ask who you are? I be called Norian, while out here on the isle. Nothing more, nothing less. Greetings. What is it you do around here, Norian? Try to keep to myself mostly. When I'm not doing that, I brew a little potato moonshine. Potato moonshine, that's something I think, love to try. Potatoes are about the only thing that will grow on this godforsaken island. Well, that's nothing else you need, actually. Potato. What What else would you wish for? I see. Must be quite a demand for strong drink out here. You can say that again, lad. Not much else to take a man's mind of things. Makes me right popular around here as well. Most of the men come here when they've got something to trade. Speaking of, he looks you over considering. I might have a job for you if you're looking for work. What sort of work are you talking about, Norian? It's not a difficult piece of work. I trade with an old man by the name of Maximilian, who lives out in the wilds beyond the village wall. Old Max ain't a bad sort, but dangerous, you know what I mean. I've owed him a jug of moonshine for a fortnight, but with all of the men disappearing, I've been scared to go out and take it to him. Perhaps, no. First, what do you mean? Who has been disappearing? You should talk to the guard at the gate. We have men who go out every day to get the supplies for the camp, and lately a few of them have disappeared. Not a trace of them could be found, so I've been scared to deliver the moonshine to old Maximilian. Perhaps I might be of assistance. You're a braver soul than I if you're willing to face whatever is out there. Old Max might not even be alive, but I don't want to make him mad if he is. If you take this jug out to him, I'll give you a jug of your own. You never know what some of old Norian's moonshine is worth. I'll do so and return. That's grand. Here's the moonshine. He hands you a jug, and here's where old Maximilian was living the last time I saw him. He points to a place on your map. Tell Maximilian to give you a note confirming the delivery. You bring that back, I'll give you a jug for yourself. I'll be leaving now. Good day. I wonder, could I drink the jug actually? I think I can, and that will be the failure of the quest. That will be funny, but I'm not going to do that. And this house, nobody here, but I can't sleep in the bed. Well, you can't sleep in beds in Arcanum. That's just impossible. They are occupied by somebody, but I don't know how. It's like in The Sims, you know. It's not your bed. Can't sleep here. So this is the ogre who I brought the book for, because I can't enter. You see that door is closed, but if I talk to him, may I help you? I was told to speak to Ogdin. Do you know where I could find the Black Mountain clan? That's a dwarven clan, is it not? Yes. You will not find them here, good sir. Your time would be better spent searching the mountains of the mainland. You haven't seen any dwarves, and they aren't here. I was told I could find them here. I have no knowledge of any dwarves on this island other than Thorwald. What can you tell me of Thorwald? Thorwald, he has been here for a very long time, longer than any of us. He may be able to supply with the answers you seek. Where can I find him? Thorwald resides behind these doors. Only a select few are allowed an audience. It is my charge to filter out those undeserving of the honor. He may be able to help me. I must speak with him. No offense, but you seem very articulate for an ogre. That's where we approach the book quest. No offense perceived, sir. In actuality, I am but half ogre. Never having had contact with either of my parents, I do not have any information as to the specific nature of my lineage. You never knew your parents? No. Have a vague recollection of the orphanage, though, but something about the memory seems a bit peculiar. What seems peculiar about it? It is a most strange thing. As I remember it, all the other children were half ogres like myself. What's wrong with that? It is very rare that a human and ogre would mate, and most of the time these couplings are the result of force. If there were significant numbers of rapes being committed by ogres, I believe the newspapers would have been overflowing with calls to eradicate ogres. I have noticed that many city gnomes use half-ogre servants. Now that you mention it, it does seem a bit strange. Even I spent some time myself as a servant to a gnome of rather high standing. Did you work for gnomes your whole life before coming here? No. From a very early age I remember working in a printer's shop from the early morning hours to well into the evening. I would then retire to the storage room where I was allowed to rest for a few hours. The next day I would be up before the daybreak to start again. That sounds truly distressing. How long did you work there for? I have no way to gauge how long I spent in that miserable shop. Eventually I was rescued by a well-to-do gnome who made a big show about paying the print master a sum of money for the inconvenience. I now recognize this is accepted way to buy and sell individuals. I worked for Mr. Chaplin until I was sent here. Why were you sent here? Mr. Chaplin did not wish to have a savage servant his guest, so he hired a tutor for me. Miriam was her name. I never knew that humans could be kind, or even that what kindness was until I met her. She taught me for 3 years until I began to ask too many questions. What happened then? The more I questioned, the more agitated Mr. Chaplin became. Early one morning the constable came to the house and escorted me away. I didn't even see Mr. Chaplin. My fate didn't become evident until I was on the ship coming here. Why did they send you here? People don't like their property to ask too many difficult questions. Being an influential gnome, it was a simple matter for him to have me shipped here. I believe I was perceived as a potential agitator of the workers. I'm sorry for you. Could you allow me to see Thorvald? I have a very specific rule I'm pledged to follow. No one enters without first providing themselves on the field of a battle, so to speak. The field of battle in this instance would be the pit, barbaric but effective in deterring the undesirable element. This is the pit he's talking about. The pit. The island is sorely like in any kind of entertainment, so the men invented their own barbaric form, pit fighting. It sounds as if you don't necessarily approve of the pit fights. I don't mind them, they make my job easier. They are just not my particular brand of entertainment. I would rather pass the time with a good book. You appreciate a good book, do you? Sadly, yes. Why sadly? There are not many books on the island. What good is a love of books when there are none to be had? I recently saw a book by Frederick von Habsgood. Would it interest you? Why yes, that would most splendid. I would be most pleased if you could retrieve it for me. It would be my pleasure. So I have brought the book that you wish to read. Thank you very much. Could you do me? Can I ask? So, who do I see to arrange a pit fight for me? Go speak with Gorin, the pitmaster. He will arrange a fight if you wish. Can I ask another question? So basically I gave him the book, but he didn't let me in. That's interesting. That's very interesting because probably I could ask for a favor in return and he would have let me in. But I failed that, but I don't mind. I'm still going to fight anyway because, well, I have 3,680 bullets and I have to do something about them, right? The only thing I'm concerned about is my companions because I can't enter the pit without with them. Sorry, so I'll have to leave them behind, and I hope they all join me back. Am I a good person? 78 alignment. Yeah, I should be possible to connect them. So the old man before you is lean and scarred. Watch your step there, lad. This ain't the place for a weak spine. Perhaps better move on. Really, and who might you be to think so? He regards you silently, then breaks into a smile. That's the spirit, lad. You might just have a little backbone yet. I'm called Gorin, master of the pit. What's your business here? I just taken a look around, Gorin. What's this pit? This here to be pit, lad. If there is a problem between two inmates here on the island, this is usually where it's resolved. Here, or by Thorvald Two Stones. Men do a lot of gambling on the outcomes, and there is a few men and women who make their way on the island by fighting here all the time. May I indulge upon you to answer more questions? What is it you've been needing to know, lad? What do you do here, Gorin? Me? I'm the master of the pit. I used to be a fighter many years ago. I oversee all of the fights, make sure no one goes in there who ain't supposed to be. I've been loyal to Thorvald for a long time and he takes care of his own. So, you used to fight. I'm looking for expert melee training. You do not have the skill necessary, of course. Yeah, I must be off. Wait. May I indulge you? What do you do in here, Gorin? I'm looking for some dwarves. Who might I see about that? Dwarves? The only dwarf around here is Thorvald Two Stones, and even if there was more, old Thorvald is the only one that would matter. So I'm here to schedule a fight. Thorvald Two Stones, he is the one who runs things on this island. Tough little dwarf, has been here longer than any of us, and no one questions what he says. Got a big half ogre named Ogden Big Fist to make sure it stays that way. So, schedule a fight. Right now, Ogden sent you over here to fight, boy. I don't know if that means he likes you or hates you. The old man laughs heartily. No matter. We'll see soon enough what you are made of. You will be fighting with whatever you got on you. Other than that, there ain't no rules. Only one man walks out of the pit, boy. Are you ready to fight? Yeah, send me in. Gorin looks behind you. Oh, I didn't tell you. You go into the pit alone, lad. You can't be bringing your friends down there. They'll have to wait until you're done fighting. Come back when you are ready. Yes, so now I need to tell them all to wait. You wait and wait. And Wallinger also wait. And
Yes, sir.
Gar.
What? I'll be waiting.
What is it that you want?
And
What can I answer for you?
Virgil.
What is it that you want of? What can I answer for you? What is it that you want of me? Yes, of course. I don't like.
Yes, please wait.
How can I help you?
Magnus.
What would you? I'll wait here.
Thank you. And Sog also wait here. Okay. Now I hope it's gonna be fine. Yeah, let's schedule a fight. Send me in. That was fast. That was fast. Congratulations. Lad Borg was one of our toughest fighters. You did well in there. Will you be off to speak with Torvald right away? Aren't there any real fighters around here, Gorin? Huh, you're a true pit dog if I've ever seen one. Go back in. There'll be another fighter waiting for you. Uh-huh. Well, that woman killed me. Okay. So I need to be careful. That's okay. I need to drink the potion of durability. I think it's an intellect. Okay.
What is it that you want? I'm ready.
Virgil.
What is it that you?
Let's talk. I think I'll take these potions. And Virgil broke his stone and took this knife, which is a idiot. Virgil, you're an idiot. But fine.
What is it that you want of me? What type of healing? What is it that you want of me?
Healing.
What is it that you? Yes,
I want you to wait. So, and why can't I? Okay, now
What is it that you want of me?
stop
I'm ready.
waiting.
What is it that you want? What can I
And-
answer for you? We need to locate. What is it that you? What type of healing do you want?
I need.
What type of healing? I am finished.
Okay.
What is it that you want of me?
Now,
Yes, I don't like
wait.
leaving you.
Wait here, and I need to continue. I miss clicking. Okay, success. That was success. And again,
What is it? I'm ready to.
I need.
What is it that you
some
want? What type of
healing.
healing? What type? I am finished. What is it that you want?
Thank you, Virgil.
What is it that you want of me?
Now,
Yes, of course.
wait. And okay, another dead. And another dead. Sog. Let's give him what? No, I can't believe that. Of course he has place to put them in. Wonderful. And now please, Sog, you should wait. Thank you. yeah, let's three halflings.
What is it that I'm ready to?
Virgil,
What
I
is it
need
that you
more
want?
healing.
What type of? What? I am finished. What is it that you
Yeah.
want? What is it
Now
that you
we
want of me?
should wait again.
Yes, I don't.
I've never seen anything like that. You are a mad dog, a maniac. The pit has never seen a more fearsome fighter. Who is next, Gorin? No one would be fool enough to fight you, lad. You've beaten all of our best. I'd say that makes you the champion. I'm thinking that men out here are going to be staying out of your way. Okay, do you have time for more questions? Okay, no more questions for him. And we are done with this pit, which I don't like actually. So
What is it that you? I'm ready.
let's reassemble my
How can I help?
guys.
It's about
Magnus.
Yes, sir. I'm ready to
Gar.
follow you, sir.
And the next one should be, I think, Sog, Jaina, Vollinger, and my dog. Perfect. All 7 are back. And now I want to enter the room. I was victorious in the pit. May I enter now? Go on in. He hands you the key. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I don't want to talk to Thorvald yet because I have things to do out in the wild. So let's move. Am I... Oh, rusty broadsword. Why the hell do I need it? Gar,
Yes, sir.
could you please take this shit from me? Thank you. So, and now I can run fast. Can I? Yeah. Moving. Where is the cross path? I don't remember. Somewhere here. Did you see that in the pit the sound of the battle wasn't working? That was pretty interesting because Arcanum is still glitching terribly. I mean, after I don't know hundreds of patches, it is still lagging, but it's fine. So, Maximilian, hello. It is nice to meet you. Hello, and who you might be. The man before you is old but still holds himself with strength and dignity. He seems to take all of you in at once, weighing what he sees before him. My name is Maximilian. A pleasure, Maximilian. Might I ask you a few questions? Of course. I've brought you a jug of moonshine from Norian. You have. I see that Norian hadn't the backbone to deliver himself. Maximilian laughs. Not that I can blame him. The wilds are no place to be risking your neck for a jug of potato wine. I appreciate it, stranger. I'm sure he wants a receipt. Of course, here you go. He hands you a note. Thank you. Might I ask you a few questions? Of course. What are you doing out here? That's my business, friend. The Isle of Despair is no place to be asking a man about his past. I recommend you mind your business, sir. Every man has his secrets. Believe me, I understand. He seems a little surprised. He gives you a shrewd look, making a new appraisal. You're right. Please forgive my short-sightedness. No doubt you've things of value to share as well. Perhaps you and I might have something to speak of after all. I think, yeah, I'd enjoy that. Tell me of yourself, Maximilian. Perhaps now is a good time to tell stories, but forgive me if I'm a little leery of companionship. I've spent many years out here in the wilds by myself. Might I ask you to tell me of yourself before I begin? Of course. It began not long ago. Tell him your tale. He is silent for a long time. Then, it seems grave times have come to Arcanum, and somehow you've become entangled in her problems. You are a brave soul, sir, for few are those who would do the things you've done. Virtue and valor allow me to act in no other way. Maximilian smiles. You've no idea how refreshing it is to hear someone speak in such a noble manner, sir. There were years, I believe, that there were no men left in this land who knew what those words meant. Why don't you tell me your story, Maximilian? Yes, it is past time that someone knew my tale. Tell me, friend, do you know of anything of the Kingdom of Cambria, her capital city of Durnholm, King Pretor I. I've heard things about the place, but I know very little. I've been there before. I see. The Cambria I speak of was a much different place, far different than what it is today, I'm sure. I speak of a time when Cambria was a powerful kingdom, when the elves and dwarves would come to her walls to pay tribute to her king. When the banners of the famed dragon knights were a thing to be respected and feared. I've seen Cambria. It falls far from what you describe. No, there is no doubt that Cambria is but a shadow of her former glory. The day came long ago when her fate was sealed, the day when technology began to rival magic, when the old ways began to fall to the new. What happened? Did Cambria resist the change? Yes, and vehemently. The king at the time, Torren, was a wise and brave man, but set in his ways. Maximilian smiled sadly. He was cut from sterner stuff, but he was like stone, unwavering but inflexible. He failed to see how Cambria needed to grow, to change. And so he passed laws outlawing the use of technology in his lands and set a ruling council of mage advisors at his side. For years Cambria was still very strong and influential, but it was only a matter of time. What happened? Well, Cambria was surpassed, both in commerce and in power. When mighty Turan demanded the release of certain disputed lands, Cambria was taught a harsh lesson. The armies of Cambria were slaughtered, and the dragon knights cut down by gun and gunfire. The glory of all the days was lost. And what of King Torren? What happened to him? Maximilian looks to the horizon. He is far away. He was killed. He led the final charge of the dragon knights. He was shot as any common soldier, unwavering and brave to the end. I see. What does all of this have to do with you, Maximilian? He seems to come to himself, looking back at you. With the death of Torren came a power struggle. There were those who believed that Cambria should embrace the new age to seek a better way and make her powerful again. But others thought differently. Yes, some people cannot see the answer, even when it is laid before them in the form of a dead king. Torren had two sons. The older son believed in the new ways, and the younger son believed in nothing. And so the mage council that Torren had put in place put their influence behind the younger son. Wasn't the older son heir to the throne by birthright? Yes. But men will create all manner of evil in pursuit of power. The mage council, who controlled the younger son, brought false allegations against the older son, charging him with treason. He was taken in the night and sent away to rot in prison for the rest of his days. The older son, by the gods! Yes, stranger, the older son was me. I was sent here by my own brother, King Pretor I of Cambria, and I've been here ever since. I don't know what to say. I have no words. No words are necessary, friend. You've done enough to sit here and listen to my story. I've made peace with my past. Life here on the Isle is harsh, but a man learns to live with himself, to accept what life brings. But it was unfair. Perhaps I could bring you home. No, my time in Cambria has passed. If my brother lives, I'm sure he has paid the price due him. He was young and foolish. When one is a king, life is unforgiving when you live so. But Cambria, perhaps the kingdom still needs you. He looks at you, then away to the west. I can still feel her, you know, the stone walls of Durnholm, the rolling hills and vales, the trumpet blast of the dragon knights marching to battle. I wake up sometimes and I forget where I am. Come back with me, Maximilian. It is not too late. He looks back again. Perhaps. I will ask you this, friend. The captain of the dragon knights was a man named Warren Beldar. Sorry. He was my one true friend. If he still lives and cares to do so, tell him I'm here and that I'd enjoy once the pleasure of his company. I already know of Warren Beldar. Tell him of Liana. Sorrow passes over his face. So, my old friend is dead. He shall be missed. But this Liana, his daughter, you say. Tell me, what is she like? She's a warrior, like her father. I see, he smiles. Perhaps Cambria still has a burning heart. If you wish, go to Liana Beldar and tell her I'm here. Who knows what will come of such things? You see a hard look come over his face, a proud look. I will, Maximilian, I swear to you. I would greatly appreciate it, friend. Good luck to you, wherever your travels might take you. Farewell, Maximilian. Goodbye, friend. Perhaps one day we'll meet again. And we will. So that's why I actually visited Liana before I went to the Isle of Despair, because of this conversation. Because this is the true king, and he has to be saved. Yeah. So that's the point. Now, Shades Beach is my next destination. Shooting spiders now, and enraged boars.
Of course, sir.
Yeah, exciting battles with monkeys. But I have lots of bullets. They will not survive my shots. Of that I'm sure. Man, how many days have passed? Yeah, now I'm healed up. So, spiders, where are you? First, what? No, back off. It's my battle.
Of course, sir.
And why did I shoot monkeys
Of course, sir.
faster than spiders? That's what I'm interested about, but fine. Ancient filament, schematic, that's how they call it here. Ancient looking glass, schematic, ancient gears. Something else I saw, something else. Has someone taken again? Not the dog, definitely. Sog, have you taken anything? Poppy flowers. You don't need poppy flowers, come on. Why do you... Aha, Vollinger. You are guilty of stealing from me. Moron. Jaina has stolen nothing. Good companion. Sog, I checked.
Yes, sir.
Gar, have you stolen anything? Thank you
How can I
not.
help?
Magnus stole nothing.
What is it that you want of me?
Virgil stole, well, the sword. There is the sword, but except for the sword, I think he is quite obedient. I don't see any artifacts. So what do I have? I have one schematic that's Reanimator, and the second one is Bronwick's gun. Ancient gears. Ancient looking glass, and ancient pocket watch, and ancient filament. So let's see what we can build. Reanimator, that's cure all and large capacitor. That's very, very useful. Then, and you have to be herbologist. 90, level 90. That's crazy. Guns. Bronwick's gun. That's from... Oh, I need to tell you something about this. This schematic is printed on a strange sort of paper and looks to be very old. The writing is faded almost beyond recognition. Bronwick's powerful chassis, unparalleled design, chemical properties of mithril, violent reactions, controlled destruction, gunsmiths of Vendigroth. Vendigroth is an island here. Well, I should maybe say a... God. What's that? So, well, it is an island because there is a river separating from the continent. So, peninsula. Maybe it is a peninsula. So, it's like a technological civilization, which is like totally technological, and it was destroyed by mages, but well, they have come to amazing discoveries and inventions, and so everything you find from Vendigroth, like the technologies, the artifacts, is extremely precious, and we will pay them a visit at the end of the game, closer to the end of the game. And before that, well, we were lucky to find some nice stuff from there, which is 2 schematics and 4 small artifacts. And this sort of defense I need to drop somewhere, for example here. And now what? Why? Ah, it's for head, right? I see. Now let's travel to this female camp, the women's camp, sorry. And there I hope they don't attack me because I have this scarf on my head. Yeah, that worked out. So this lady, what brings you to our tribe, boy? Where did you get the headband? It was given to me by a poor woman who wishes to join you. Why is she not here herself? She's not able to escape from the southern encampment. We do not need those that cannot fend for themselves. So you would simply leave her to rot? Perhaps you don't realize where you are. Look around. This is a wasteland that devours the unprepared. At least she is protected in the encampment. We cannot afford to have someone who needs to be helped alone. What should I tell her? That you don't care she's suffering? I feel for her, but out here feelings mean nothing. I can give you this old pistol to bring to her. She hands you an old rusty pistol. Tell her to use it to escape if she means to join up with us. Charging the gates with that pistol would be a suicide. Better to die fighting than to live a torturous life. I don't think she will be relieved to hear that. Such is life. Is there anything else? May I ask about you? What is your story? I was sent here for killing a man that was beating me, and I refused to be trapped in the man's encampment when I arrived. My women have either escaped the encampment or avoided it altogether from the time they arrived. That's quite a tale. I'll be on my way now. Good day. Perfect. That's it. So this the story. They don't want to help her. You see, like, because I mean I understand their logic. This is a very harsh place. That's a desert. And the desert has very harsh rules, and so they don't want to accept anyone who is too weak to fight for him or herself. Well, in this case only for herself, because that's a female camp, but that's pretty cruel. So I will not, of course, leave this woman to her own devices. I will try to take her home to Torrent. And now I will, I will go and slay the monster. After which I am going to give in all the quests, and that's it. That will be it for this Isle of Despair. I'm running very slowly. Don't like it. Why? Because of the gears, I'm sure. Who will keep them for me? So could you please take this? Thank you. And this. Oh, come on, you can find a place for that, I'm sure. But fine, okay, I get it. It's anyway better. Now I'm slightly encumbered. Now, where are the footsteps of the monster? I know they are somewhere. They should. Yeah, here we are. We need to follow the tracks, and we will find that monster and shoot it to death. And I should stop this kind of giving genders to things according to my own language. Yeah, but well, how do I know? Maybe it is a female monster, right? Maybe it's not a male monster. Of course. That's why. Yeah, that's the monster. That's it. It was fast.
Yes, sir. What would you have me do?
Spiders found me here. Sleep until healed. And I am healed. And so the monster is gone. We are all healthy. Volunteer caught up. And let's now report about the successful completion of the quests. I don't need this white scarf. I now put it here. Virgil,
What is it that you want?
can you please take this white scarf? Wooden shield, unidentified gauntlets, unidentified ring. So let's move on. Yeah. Hello. Unbelievable. All the fighters in the pit defeated. That's a thing of glory. I have dispatched the sorcerer's beast for you. Spectacular. Our small community thanks you. Here's a token of our appreciation. Perhaps you will allow me a few more questions. What can you tell me about the nomadic women? Those uppity wenches want nothing to do with our bit of civilization we've built here. Too good to serve us is what they thought. Ingrates. How could they have given all this up? I do not appreciate your tone of sarcasm, stranger. It was not my intent to offend. Well, yeah, male civilization. So, the next part is the potato moonshine. Hello, sir. I delivered the moonshine. Here's the note. You made it. I'm glad to see it. I appreciate the help, friend. Here's your jug of moonshine. He hands it to you. Good luck to you. I must be going. Virgil, you need to take the bottle. Yeah, here's Virgil.
What is it that you want?
Potato moonshine and unidentified necklace, which Virgil immediately puts on. But I don't want to give it to him because it is, I remember, it is not the best artifact. Now the collector is the next step. Hello, sir. I have some objects found on Shades Beach. Ancient gears. That looks like a good trade. Done. I'll take it and you can have the weapon. He hands it to you. It's been a pleasure working with you. And with you as well, Jones. Good day to you. What's the weapon? Ah, ancient gun chassis. That's the thing that I needed. Ah, perfect. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted.
What is it that you want?
Let's trade, yes. Ancient gun chassis, ancient looking glass, ancient pocket watch, and ancient filament. I don't know, maybe I'll use them later, so I don't want to sell them yet. Yes, so then we need to go to talk to Thorvald. That's the quest conversation, very important. So save. By the way, we have reputation improvement, I think. Yeah. Oh, actually a lot of them. So you see, we are a member of the Thieves Underground. That enables you to buy from black market stores and get free information and leads on jobs from other members. Orator of Ashbury, because of your rousing speech that enabled the townspeople of Ashbury to finally build their monument, you find the people there to be friendly to you. Firearms, Master of Arcanum, your skill with firearms is unmatched, and Champion of the Pit on the Isle of Despair. By defeating all the pit warriors, you have gained the reputation of being the most grizzled pit fighter of them all. That's nice. So, hello. You're welcome here, brother. Could I speak with you? Yes, what is it you wish to know? Do you know where I could find the Black Mountain Clan? Black Mountain Clan? There is no Black Mountain Clan here. I'm the only dwarf that has ever lived on this rock. You're not of the Black Mountain Clan? I'm Thorvald Two Stones of the Wheel Clan. You are a bit off in your directions. The Black Mountain Clan is on the northernmost region of the Stonewall Mountains. I have been there. The mines are deserted. That is strange, but why is it you believe that they are here? They were to be banished here by order of the Wheel Clan. Who told you this? A feeble-minded dwarf hidden deep in the mines. What was his name? He said his name was Gudmund. Gudmund or Bender and I were friends, but in no way was he the feeble-minded. He was one of the bravest warriors I knew. I find it hard to imagine that he could have become feeble-minded in such a short time. The story he told was very disturbing. What did he tell you? Tell him Gudmund's story of the banishment. The whole clan gone. My clan involving themselves with magics. None of this makes sense. Have you spoken to the Will clan about this? Don't even know where the Will clan is, do you? Of course I do. Here, I'll mark your map, but knowing its location will not be enough. What do you mean? To keep out outworlders, our clan created an optical illusion of the grandest scale using glass and mirrors, which makes the entrance of our mind look as if it never existed. Then how do you get in? A pair of specially made spectacles which use thin slices of Catherine crystal as lenses. Every member of the Will clan has a pair. I still have mine. I will get you off this island if you get me into the Will clan. No, I don't believe you will ever be leaving this island alive anyways. Why do you say that? Did you think you can land a boat on this island without anyone knowing? I'm sure it's already been captured and your captain thrown to the sharks. Then come with me, with you by my side. They will let us pass. Sounds tempting, but it is too risky. I'm in a good position here and I don't want to jeopardize it. If the man discovered I had joined up with you and was planning on leaving them here to rot, it would mean both of our heads. Are you a dwarf or a gnome? Do you want off this rock or not? Okay, let's go. I've been here too long already. Let's go. Ha! That's the first time I've joined Thorwald, actually. What a story! What should we be doing now? Right now, we best be making our way back to the Will clan. I won't be waiting forever. What do you know about this place? What I know, boy, is that this ain't the Will clan. We better get there real soon. So he is this kind of motivated person to get to the Will clan, and I have to do that, otherwise he will leave me. So now let me see your things. Oh, keys to Thorwald's chest. Interesting. Can I take your key? Money, book, schematic. Interesting. Will clan spectacles. Got it. And the book. There is a diary. Interesting. I want to read it later. So I got him with me. Shall we trade? So he has small suede jacket and hammer. Nothing big. And let's move. Strange. Ogrin doesn't like me apparently. No questions. So the next thing I want to do is to join to my company, to connect to my company, to hire to a company Cynthia box. What? Okay, Thorwald, could you please that's very interesting. Wow. Okay, so I can't save her and Thorwald at the same time. That's a very difficult moral decision. Can I actually try that? So, have you spoken with Loria and are they not going to come rescue me themselves? They want nothing to do with those who cannot help themselves. She looks crestfallen. I suppose they are right. I should be able to extricate myself from my bonds if I am to be welcomed amongst them. Please let me help you. It's dangerous to trek to their camp. What do you want that you would do that for me? I thank you and humbly accept your offer of help. Follow me, I'll find some way to get you out of here. Sorry guys, I sneezed. So, and can I now take Thorwald? Aha. Okay. Now we have a large company. I need bullets. You shouldn't shoot. And this is a nice Cynthia box locket. I'll take it because it's beautiful. I'll take it, yeah. So, sir, I suggest you tell that woman to stop following you, or I will be forced to attack you. She's not allowed to live here or even to fraternize with strangers. I'm not a stranger, I own her. What do you mean you own her? Thorvald sold her to me. Oh, excuse me, sir, I don't realize. Sorry for the trouble. So now we are fine. And we don't have any questions from people anymore. And here are buddies who are trying to attack our ship, but Captain Edward Teach is no joke. So I'm going to loot people. Money, no artifacts, unfortunately. Okay, that's fine. So, Captain, I have quite a lot of people to sail with. Hello, lady, what have you found about the Black Mountain Clan? Plenty, but what's happened here, Captain? Who are these men? Bloody inmates thought they'd come out here and play at being swashbucklers, as if old Teach is going to let a bunch of scurvy landlubbers board the Gypsy Shadow. I just gave them what was coming to them, lady. Nicely done, Captain. Let's get out of here. I won't be sad to leave this place behind. Looks like we'll be heading back to Ashbury then. I am ready to when you are. Right, so we are back to Ashbury. All our company. It's truly wonderful to be out of the terrible island. Come, let us proceed to the Wheel Clan. Thank you for rescuing me from that terrible island. True freedom was more than I could ever have hoped for. You're welcome, good luck. So, Cynthia has left us, right? Thank you for helping me. Perfect. So now we are only with Thorvald. Can I ask you some questions? What do you know about this place? What I know, boys. So he's going to tell me every time that he doesn't want to talk about the place. He only wants to get to the Wheel Clan, which I totally understand. So and we have completed this quest for Cynthia. Yeah, so we are quite good with all this, and I'm actually very satisfied. That's the best. Come back again, lady. Old Teach will be here even if you ever need a captain to sail for you. So that's the best walkthrough I've yet had so far. So that's amazing. Shall we immediately go to the Wheel Clan? I think so. While we are fresh. I think I'll reach the cave. Yeah, and then I'll save the game and stop there. This is the plan. Because, well, that's been, I think, around 2 hours already. And I think that's quite enough for today. But still, that was very, very productive. I like it. I managed to do all the important things that I wanted, and yeah, even did what I never had done before, so I'm very satisfied. Miserable wolves. Okay.
Greetings, traveler. It seems to me that you're looking for answers. Perhaps it is time that I answered them for you.
What? Who are you?
Don't you know? Are you not the reincarnation of Nazareth? Has it been so long that you don't recognize your old nemesis? Or perhaps you're not the living one after all, merely a puppet playing his role.
You must be Aronax.
So, You remember me, do you, Nazareth? Do you remember what I did to your pathetic elven council? Do you remember when all of Arcanum shook before my power? Be warned, they will do so again. I have come to bring you a message.
And that message is?
The message is this. Whether you are the living one or not, whether or not the coward Nasruddin hides in your bones or still rots in his grave, the inevitable will still come to pass. I am returning. It has already been set in motion, and there's nothing you can do about it. I am returning, and all will fall before me. Everyone you know, everyone you love.
You bastard, face me as a warrior.
You see my power? Do you yet understand? Perhaps I need to be more clear. No one is safe, traveler. No one. Not even you.
Aronax.
Remember what I have shown you here. Remember and tell the world. Aronax is returning to Arcanum, and nothing will ever be the same.
Oh my god. Of course. So I have to wait until my fatigue restores, which is not a very long time. That's fine. So, -3, -2. I'll be able to stand up when it is 1, I think. I can't stand when it is 0. Yeah, but, well, that's because my, what's that, endurance? No, constitution is very low, while like Magnus and like other characters have quite high constitution, and I'm still lying on the ground like a pathetic fool. And now it should be 1. Yeah, and I can stand up. And let's wait 1 hour. So, Thorwald, I need your Will Clan spectacles. Yeah? Oh, that's the passage. Let's enter. Now I want to save the game first. I don't want to compromise the walkthrough. I'm inside. Amazing. So that will be it for today. Let's call it today and save. So next time we are going to proceed with the Will Clan, and then to do the big selling process, of course, because we have a lot of artifacts to sell and identify, and that's gonna be quite enjoyable, I think so. And thank you guys for watching. Hope you like it, and see you in the next walkthrough. Bye bye.